Today, I'm going to be chatting about two cars that were supposed to drag Ford into the high-tech 80s, but instead mostly dragged their owners into the service bay. The Ford Tempo and Mercury Topaz. These were the middle children of the Reagan era. Too boring to be sporty, too weird to be classy, and just reliable enough to stick around until the Clinton years. Think of them as the VHS tapes of cars. Everyone had one, and no one brags about it. Welcome back to Auto Chatter, where facts, opinion, and speculation will be given. Leave a like if you enjoyed this one. Comments are always welcome, and let us begin. By the late 70s, the gas crisis, the second one of the 70s, and new emission laws meant aerodynamics was the new buzzword. Born in the age of Knight Rider and Tron, Ford bragged that the Tempo and Topaz were designed with computers and wind tunnels. They weren't quite kit, but they were aerodynamic enough that you could pretend you were in the future while sitting in a velour seat. The Tempo and Topaz debuted in 1984 on the Ford CE14 platform, a compact mid-sized mashup that was basically a stretched version of what the Escort used. Styling was borrowed from the futuristic 1982 Ford Sierra in Europe, but watered down because Americans weren't ready for something too space age. Imagine ordering Blade Runner, but getting a vehicle that resembled a taxi cab in an 80s movie taking place in the near future. Front-wheel drive, transverse engines, and wind-cheating shapes made these Ford's attempt at modern engineering. Tempo and Topaz arrived in 1983, a bit earlier than usual for the 84 model year. Aero looks and standard cloth are everywhere. 4-speed manual or optional 3-speed automatic. Available in 2 or 4 doors, but the sedans definitely were the popular kids in the lunchroom. Engines was a 2.3-liter 4 with around 90 horses. Ford basically took their old Thrift Power straight 6 and lopped a few cylinders off. A high-output version offered 10 more. Or you and a few other people, as it turned out, got one with a Mazda-built diesel. It had 73 horsepower, so hopefully you never needed to merge into fast-moving traffic. They came in manual only too, which limited their appeal further. Except to me, because manuals rule. Price was about $6,800 or about $20,000 today. Sales-wise, they were a hit. We're talking over 402,084 Tempos, and the Topaz added another 150 or so to the first longer model year than normal that kicked off earlier in 83. For 84, Ghostbusters premiered, while the Ecto-1 hauled Pro-Ten packs. The Tempo hauled cassette tapes and a copy of Huey Lewis's sports album. For 85, a 5-speed manual transmission was now standard, a more common sight for the class by then. Kind of like finding someone in 85 who didn't have a pair of acid-wash jeans. Price now $7,200 or about $20,600 today. Tempos had their first normal model year and close to 340,000 sell. The Topaz did a little over 100,000. The Goonies hit theaters for 85. The kids were searching for buried treasure, while Tempo owners were happy to find loose change in the floorboards. For 86, the headlights were now composite, giving them an updated look. Didn't really help sales though, as the Tempo fell just under 278,000 that year. The Topaz was around 80. A combination of cheaper gas prices and General Motors making buying a domestic car with a diesel seem like a risky proposition led to this being the last model year for one in a Tempo or Topaz. Pop culture-wise, Top Gun dominated the box offices in 86. Sadly, you wouldn't feel the need for speed in a Tempo without the 6-cylinder. Best you could feel otherwise was the need to push it uphill. 1987 got a minor facelift with smoother bumpers. The all-wheel drive option debuts, revolutionary, but about as popular as New Coke. They came standard with the high-output version of the 4-cylinder that added a blistering 10 additional ponies at your command. Price was now $8,200 or about $21,800 today for a base car. Sales went up slightly for Tempo, breaking the 282,000 barrier. Fleet buyers were keeping the aerodynamic dream alive. Topaz had a small bump too, almost hitting the 100,000 mark again. In Dirty Dancing, same year, nobody put Baby in a corner, but tempo drivers definitely put their cars in the compact section at the Walmart parking lot. For 88, sporty GLS trim was here with stripes and spoilers, Ford's way of giving you a Miami Vice vibe without the Ferraris. 88s are technically second gens, as they had a substantial refresh inside and out. Topaz sedans now had a near vertical back glass too. This made them look less like a Tempo with a different grille and taillights. The two-door versions of either car just gave more of a front and rear facelift if anything. The buying public and rental agencies liked the changes though, as over 363,000 Tempos were sold. Even the Topaz was almost 112. The movie License to Drive foreshadowed that a lot of used Tempos and Topaz models by then were occupying high school parking lot spaces. 89 had a refresh with better interior plastics and analog brakes. Guess because a lot of people bought a Tempo for 88, 89 numbers paid the price with only around 241,000 selling. Topaz was around 93. Batman blew up in theaters that year. The Batmobile had rockets and machine guns. The Tempo had air conditioning that may or may not work. For 90, an airbag was optional, automatic seat belts on some trims. This was that weird time in history where manufacturers had a choice which safety feature you may get. Sales were now down on Tempo to just over 218,000. Topaz was still consistent though in the low 90s sales-wise. At a time, MC Hammer's "You Can't Touch This" ruled the charts. Tempo owners said the same thing about their cracked dashboards. For 91, all-wheel drive was quietly discontinued. Nobody noticed, much like the TV show Cop Rock. God, that thing was awful. Tempo reached a new low sales-wise at just under 186,000. Topaz didn't hit 56. Terminator 2 wowed audiences with liquid metal. Tempos were more into rusty metal. For the final model years, trim levels were simplified. By now, Tempo and Topaz were like Saved by the Bell the college years. Still around, but everyone had moved on. Topaz got the full light bar grille look, and Tempos had full body-colored bumpers standard. Final price, $11,000 or $23,000 today or so for a Tempo to start. Ford did manage to move around 207,000 Tempos for 92 and 93. Topaz was around 77,000 each for those years. In 93, Jurassic Park revived dinosaurs. Tempo went extinct after 94. Life found a way. The Tempo did not. Well, it sort of did, as the Contour and Mystique were created as replacements. But their disappointing tale is for another time. Final sales for Tempo for 94 was 142,449, and the Topaz 50,398. All in all, these cars had a good run, almost 2 million built. You couldn't throw a Rubik's Cube in the 80s without hitting one. Reliable enough to be a family hauler, boring enough that nobody missed them, except ironically. They're rare today because most disintegrated like a Thanos snap. The Ford Tempo and Mercury Topaz, they weren't fast, they weren't glamorous, but they were the four-wheeled mullets of the 1980s. Business in the front, faded party in the back. They tried to be futuristic, but wound up as background cars in every America's Funniest Home video clip of that decade. Anyway, thanks for watching, and remember, friends don't let friends race a Tempo, unless you want to recreate the slow and the curious. This has been my Tempo and Topaz chatter, and I do hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll be keeping the headlights on for you, and chatter out.